So today, we're doing something I never really thought I'd get the opportunity to really talk about. Um, and this is Power Rangers. Now, for someone of my age and my generation, we grew up with Power Rangers. I remember when it used to be on Good Morning TV or GMTV when Eamon Holmes was presenting it all the way back then in the early 90s. Of course, I think now he's on I don't know which channel is he on now? Is it I think he's either on GBBs or he's on Talk TV. He's on one of the two, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I remember back in the day, Eamon Holmes introducing Power Rangers as part of that early morning time slot. I remember that used to be on all the time. We forget how big a massive phenomenon Power Rangers really was back in that day, but it was huge, absolutely huge. And if you want an example of just how much money was made of from Power Rangers, not only from just like I say the toy sales alone. Go on Netflix and there's the fantastic documentary series "The Toys That Made Us," and there is one all about the Power Rangers toys and the merchandise that came from that. Again, fantastic documentary, well worth going to see. However, why are we talking about Power Rangers of all things? Well, to be honest, this story exemplifies the very reason why the actors are going on strike and the arguments around artificial intelligence and the problems that this is going to create for their industry and will cause essentially well, mass joblessness. There's no other way really to describe it. And I've said this before. This really is a such a important strike, the likes of which we probably have not seen for well decades, going all the way back to when you had machines sort of very first sort of replacing people, going all the way back to the industrial revolution almost as well. We've seen sort of these types of strikes, but we are getting a very similar um time now with the advent of artificial intelligence. And I really do worry, and I really do think so, that governments are massively behind the times when it comes to this. And there needs to be a real big push to really look at artificial intelligence. And of course, the joblessness that this could lead to, with it potentially replacing workers. And of course, the companies not then having to pay workers because hey, you've got this AI that does all the jobs that you used to pay someone for. Um, so before we do go into this, like I say, please do remember down below to click on the Patreon page. There's the YouTube thank you button. There is the buy me coffee link where you can buy me coffee. There is the Pony Club down below as well, and of course there's the like button and the share button. Like I say, even if you just click those massively help out the channel. So as always, thank you very much to everyone who does support the channel, and of course on into this. So first of all, what is this? Why are we talking about Power Rangers, and why does this apply uh, now? Why is this so relevant to a strike that is going on now? When in this case, uh, this was this situation was all the way back in 1993, but it highlights the very case that many actors are worried about. So where did this first come from? Well, first of all, David Yost. David Yost posted this on Twitter, and he was the Blue Power Ranger. He played Billy, if you may remember. Well, that's a long time ago. Thinking all the way back to the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But I think he was also in Zeo, and I think he left in Turbo. I think. Again, I didn't watch it beyond Mighty Morphin because I don't think we had it terrestrially. We didn't have it beyond Mighty Morphin. I don't think we went into even Zeo. I think at that point it got very much transferred over to the Sky services at that point. But what you have here is the exact thing many actors are worried about. So on this side of the screen, you can see the guy here in the guy with the head in the tube. This is Zordon. He was the mentor, the figurehead for the Power Rangers. And what happened here was that Zordon was a main character. He was in every single episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And I can't tell you how many episodes there were of Power Rangers, but I think there were a fair few. Someone will probably tell me in the comments down below. But what you can also see is you can see the guy with the bald wig cap on, and of course the green face paint. That is the actor whose likeness, because we to sort of start separating it because you'll get to the point soon. That was the guy whose likeness was used to play Zordon. He got paid $150 for 1 day's worth of work, and then his likeness was used to play Zordon for every single episode of Power Rangers from about 1993 till I think 1996, 97, maybe. And all he got was $150. He never saw a single penny. He never saw a single penny more than that, even though Zordon was pretty much in every single episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I think he was in it throughout uh, most of Turbo, and I don't know. Well, he's in it all from Zeo, but I don't know about Turbo. And I think he was the likeness was again in space as well, but he never saw a single penny. But this is exactly what the actors are worried about. That a company, as it's already been said before, I think it was either the president or the deputy president of SAG-AFTRA came out and said, "Look, the offer has been put to us from the producers from these studios of these extras will come in, we'll scan them, and then they get paid for essentially 1 day's of work, but we own their likeness, their image in perpetuity, so we own it forever." But they get nothing else. So even as you saw here, this guy who played Zordon, his likeness was continuously used, and all he got was $150 from what became an incredible phenomenon at the time that is still running to this day. Um, it is still a massive franchise and it makes a lot of money, but he never saw anything more than $150. And to be honest, that is not fair. I still think that is not fair back then. And to be honest, you can see now why actors are striking, because this robs them of money, robs them of royalties, it robs them of having a career. And I've seen a lot of people in other industries, shockingly enough, say that they're not supporting um actors on this, especially in the music industry, shockingly enough. As if AI is not going to eventually replace you guys, because oh boy, it will eventually sooner or later. Remember, a couple of years ago, it was only the writers that were saying, "Yeah, this will never happen to us," and oh look where we are now. So people in the music industry don't think that this won't happen to you. Um, the technology isn't there yet, but there's nothing to say it won't be in 2 or 3 years' time. Are you going to really need to play the guitar when they can just hollow project someone's digitally scanned image and just have the AI play a guitar? This is why I keep on saying this is a really important battle. It is really important, but I will say this now. I don't see this dispute ending anytime soon. I still think that the studios are far and away from really coming to any sort of agreement on this. But like I say, I am massively in support of the writers, of the actors going on strike, and you can see just from this example why they are on strike. It highlights the very point why they're on strike and why they are so worried. So I hope that's highlighted and brought to you more attention as to why you should support the not only the Actors Guild strike, but also the writers strike as well. So, as always, thank you very much for your support. And as always, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.